Alright guys, so I just wanted to make a quick little video as I go home. And like, I know I say guys, but honestly, I just made this channel to vent a little bit. I have another channel, but I really don't want anybody to find it, so yeah, it is what it is. But y'all, I had a day today, and I usually have these days, like, I usually start having the feelings that I'm having right now when I have to like socially interact with people. It's so weird. Like, I feel like I'm cursed, guys. I'm an introvert, so I usually shy away from social interaction, but with the field that I'm trying to get into, it requires me to be socially interactive. So, I mean, I don't have a problem with being socially active within a work setting, but honestly, like, I struggle with it, y'all. Like, I really do struggle with it. And I just feel like my conversations aren't organic. Like, I do not have the art of conversation. As much as I try to have that skill, I don't feel like I do. Or maybe I do, and it's just I don't know. Maybe I do have that skill and I just don't see it. Maybe I mask very well, I don't know. But internally, when I'm having conversations and I'm being socially interactive, or socially active, same thing, I just feel awkward. Like, I don't feel like it's natural. Like, when I'm at home talking, I don't care what comes out of my mouth, you know? Like, I'm not overly conscious of what I'm saying. And I feel like when I am at certain like settings, like a work setting, I have to be overly conscious about what I'm saying, and it takes a lot of energy. Like, you have to put a mask on, you have to be fake, because I read energies. Like, I'm not on no spiritual medium stuff or anything like that, but I do like feel energies. I read energies. So when I'm talking to someone, I pay attention to everything. I pay attention to their tone of voice. I pay attention to their body gestures. I pay attention to it all. So any little change that happens during conversation, I take a mental note of it, and I react or respond based off of how they started to react. I don't know if you guys understand what I'm talking about, but sometimes like if I start to feel like, dang, I offended somebody, I just like beat myself up in the middle of the conversation. Like, I keep it together, and I try to, like, redirect, but I'm still like mentally beating myself up, like quietly beating myself up in my brain. And I just don't like to feel like that. Like, I don't like to have to go through like those feelings, because I'm being socially active. Like, I'm having a social interaction with someone. I wonder if other people feel like this. Like, do other people pick up on things like this? Like, is it hard for everyone else? I know for a fact that is actually not hard for everyone else. You know? I don't enjoy... Okay, so I don't necessarily not enjoy having conversations with people. I just don't enjoy, like, the awkward part. I wish we can just, like, bypass the awkward part and then get to, like, the natural feeling of conversating. I want to feel like I've known you forever and I can say whatever. But even then, like, when I'm talking to certain people that I have known for a while, sometimes I still feel awkward. I hate being socially awkward. Like, it's a curse, guys. It's a huge curse. And I feel like it takes away a lot of like opportunities for me in life. Well, maybe not necessarily, but I try to avoid a lot of conversation because it's a lot for me. It's a lot. Maybe I'm just dumb. I don't know. Like, I envy people who can have conversations and just like talk all day without being mentally drained. I envy people like that because, man, like, you're lucky. Like, you can just talk whenever and it's not draining your social battery. You know, you can make friends. You know, you make yourself look good because the thing is, like, it doesn't matter, especially in the workplace. It doesn't matter how smart you are or how hardworking you are. If you don't have like that personality that people like to see, if you're not an extrovert, if you don't have good conversation, people aren't going to want to deal with you. They don't want to be around you. Silence makes them feel uncomfortable. Like, they feel your awkwardness and they try to avoid you. It's just, it takes away a lot of opportunity. People would rather hire and work with people who talk all day, even if they don't get much done. They rather do that than to work with someone like that than to deal with someone who's on the more quieter side. And I have that personality. I have an introvert personality, and I'm socially awkward on top of all of that. So I do struggle with making friends or like having meaningful relationships. Even with like dating, maybe dating not so much. I don't have to do too much in dating. Or like, if I'm dating, the person will usually make me feel comfortable enough to open up and be myself. But anyone else, like, I just don't have it. I don't know why I feel so uncomfortable around people. Plus, I feel like nobody wants to hear what you have to say in the first place. But then, like, I don't know, maybe I'm just overthinking it. Maybe I'm just overly judgmental. I did hear, like, on some TikTok videos that when you're like socially awkward and introverted, it's because you judge people a lot. And if you're judging people, if you're overly judgmental towards people, 9 times out of 10 you're overly judgmental to yourself. So that's why, your conversations don't flow. I don't know. I heard something like that on TikTok quite a few times. But another thing about being introverted that sucks and like socially awkward is that people hate you for being a quiet person. Like, people just hate it. And I don't understand why. Like, I'm not okay, I don't know if you guys ever seen the show Insecure with Issa Rae, or no, I think she had a show called like Diary of a, don't quote me, I don't know, but I know she had a YouTube show on YouTube first before she did Insecure. And sorry, my voice is breaking. And she was basically like that socially awkward person. She was just awkward. I'm an awkward person, but she didn't seem like the awkward type to where she was just overly quiet and overly shy. Like, there's just those awkward people who are social but awkward. And for me, I'm not a social awkward. I'm a introverted awkward person. And yeah, like, I feel like we get, I feel like we get judged the most. I feel like we get picked on the most for being who we are. And I just hate it. Like, why do you hate me for being me? Why do you hate me for being quiet? Like, I don't think I'm better, because this is what I usually get. Oh, you think you're better than somebody, or oh, you just don't like me, so I don't like you. It's not any of that. I don't have a problem with anybody. I'm just quiet. And I will talk to the people who talk to me. Even if I feel like I'm awkward or whatever, I'll still talk to the people who go out of their way to try to socialize with me. Especially the ones who are avid about trying to get me to open up and talk to them. But I am kind of weary about people like that as well, because some people, they don't have good intentions. I've dealt with some people trying to, like, come up to me and try to get me to talk so they can be messy and go take that back to their friend and, like, giggle about me. That's what I'm used to. Like, I've been bullied pretty bad in all of grade school, except for maybe, like, in elementary, everything was fine, but once I hit, like, grade school, yeah, once I hit, like, middle school and high school, because I went to school in, like, a different state from what I really grew up in, and it was so bad. Like, the bullying was so severe to where I wasn't always socially awkward or introvert. No, I think I was introverted, but I wasn't always socially awkward up until I started getting bullied, and I feel like I just never fully recovered. I honestly don't think I've ever fully recovered from being bullied, my past traumas. Like, I could just be sitting down minding my business, and you better believe that I am getting bullied because I'm quiet. And it's always the oh yeah, she's quiet, she's timid, so that's the one that you can pick on. And in return, that's just made me who I am today. That made me socially awkward. That made me even more introverted. And I don't really like to be around people. Like, some people I'm okay with. Like, if you have a really good spirit, if you're, like, a really good person, 9 times out of 10, I'm gonna pick up on it, and from there, like, I'll feel more comfortable to open up to you. Like, if you're an approachable person and, you're not ill-willed, or, like, you don't have, like, some weird hidden agenda, I can pick up on that a lot of times, and I can have conversations with you. Like, it'll start to feel more natural as I'm talking to you, and I don't feel as awkward. But for the most part, with other people, especially people that I can't read, or, like, people that it's just quite obvious that, you're a horrible freaking human being, I'm not gonna want to talk to you. And I hate that. Like, I wish I could be fake like everybody else. I wish I could just talk to everybody and just be normal, I guess. I really wish I could, but I just can't. I really try. Like, I even took a communications class, and yeah, it's just not for me. Like, I know how to be sociable enough to get the job done, don't get me wrong, but like when it comes to building those personal relationships, I suck at it, y'all. Like, I suck. I'm horrible at it. I put myself down for it almost every day because sometimes it gets lonely. Like, who doesn't want to have friends to go and hang out with? And then like when I do pick up that somebody is kind of like me, socially awkward and introverted, it's hard to build those relationships with people like that because they're like me as well, you know? Like, they're not gonna be conversation starters. It's kind of understood that we're both like this, but it just goes nowhere. Like, the friendship goes nowhere. The bond goes nowhere because we both stay in our own bubble and mind our business and don't talk. So how are we going to like come together to be like the best of friends? And it's like that person could be my soulmate, like my friend mate, but we just don't talk because we keep to ourselves. I feel like extroverted people, even like the crappy ones, I feel like mainly the crappy ones, they meet some amazing people. Like, they meet some of the greatest people and they fumble it. I truly feel like they fumble it. And when they fumble those amazing people, they traumatize them. Because most times, I truly feel like they're the ones who did something wrong. Like, they're the ones who screwed up. But like, if you fumble a good person, you know, let me get off that. Let me just get off that, because that's not even the main subject at this point. But yeah, y'all, I just came here to vent a little bit. Hopefully nobody sees this, because yeah, I don't really even like to put myself out there, but I do like to record, and I didn't want to put this on my main channel.